Welcome to welcome to the 37th installment of the Talking Ship Podcast Live. I am Dr. Evil Genius.
And I am Captain Paul.
Do you want a little Captain
Ooh.
One thing I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping here with my audio is I am going to not have I'm not going to have Paul's audio reverberating back into my mic. So I'm going to pretend to be a professional. How are we doing, Paul?
I'm doing pretty good, man. We're seeing some interesting times right now. How about yourself?
Yeah, your mic is cutting in and out, man.
Is it?
What's going on there?
I don't know what exactly was going on there. Is it better now?
It's popping in and out. Heh. Heh. Heh.
I have no idea.
So while you figure that out, what I'm going to do is I am going to do some
How is that?
we're about to see.
All right. Just let me know. Because this is the problem I was having earlier on StreamYard. Didn't do it with Audacity, though.
Yeah, it's just popping in and out, in and out. So you go from a low volume to a high volume and back to a low volume and back to a high volume and back to a low volume. It's like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on here?
All right. I might have to come right back. Hold on. Let me try to fix this.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do a breakdown of what happened last night, March 27, 2022. I first saw on social media somebody talking about how they lost all respect for Will Smith. And I'm like, I did not know what happened because I don't watch these award shows or anything like that. And I got footage of it online. It might have been Jada Black on YouTube. And then I saw it and I was just like, wow. And then I saw the video of the entire incident. So I thought that it would be prudent to come on here. I thought it would be prudent to come on here and address it here. And blind bet. Of course, savage as always, right? I wanted to come here and discuss it and do something a little bit different. I wanted to come here and do something a little bit different with the setup here, and let all of you come on here and say what you got to say. I am going to be placing the link in the comments pretty much all day. We're going to be posting this link because I want you guys to come on here and to express yourselves and let us know what you think of this situation. Blind Bat is getting ahead of us. So we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so last night, a situation occurred where a comedian was hosting the show and was about to introduce, I guess, a documentary. And what ends up happening is he's going through his bits, and he starts to refer to G.I. Jane, kind of looking towards Jada Pinkett.
Yeah.
And the entire audience erupts in laughter. Did they not, Captain Paul?
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully this is better because I switched to my laptop.
How many people, when Chris Rock first told the joke, how many people did not laugh initially?
Like, dude, Will Smith himself laughed at the joke initially. The only
Right.
one that I saw that didn't laugh was Jada. That was it.
Exactly. There was only one person in the audience that did not find that joke funny.
Yep.
Okay. So I just want us to make sure that we set the stage properly. Okay. And you see him laughing, and then you see a cut back to Chris Rock, the comedian.
Yep.
And not long after that, what do you see coming up into the camera?
Fucking Will Smith walking up.
Like really slow, right?
Yeah.
Right. And, one of the things that before I go into any kind of analysis, he walks up really slow, and he winds up in a very feminine way. And
yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Mm-hmm.
It was embarrassing to see. Like Will Smith, he used to, obviously the past like year or so, I would say, he's been taking like fucking
Massive L's,
right? But before all that shit, everyone loved Will Smith, knew him as like a legend, and had a real respect for him. But
he thought he was a legend. He started a movie called I Am Legend.
Yeah, like I think Will Smith out here destroying his reputation. I'm not surprised at this point. At first, I thought, like, yo, is this staged? You know what I mean? Because, like, the ridiculousness of Will Smith going on stage, smacking Chris Rock over a joke is hilarious within itself. Like, Chris Rock has fucking material for years. Like, I was hoping, he's like, damn, I haven't felt something this painful since August. You know what I mean? Like, that was a dope bar to me. Like, I wish he kept going with it. But, I think this kind of stems from the issue with Will Smith. I just don't know. I think like all these L's he's taking is just taking a toll on him, and then just this behavior. It's like he's going further and further into cuckhood. Like he's letting his wife like absolutely destroy him, man. Like the absolute ridiculousn's of like the wife and the kids saying like, "Oh, I wish I had Tupac as my dad." Or like the wife, talking about the sex life, the entanglement with August. And like some people defending that shit, saying like, oh, well, like they're poly. No, like, no. Like,
I'm gonna step in on that because, you're Mr. Monogamy, right? And, I have a different view on that. And so I am going to give you a non-monogamous viewpoint on this. Okay.
Go ahead.
So when people were talking about their so-called open relationship, there were two things they were talking about. They were talking about, actually, the one thing that they were talking about was the fact that they suspected that Will was having some familial experiences with other members of the same sex. And that was the joke that's been going around on him for like, 10, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, for a longer time.
Right? Somewhere in that range. So So with him, when people were talking about that kind of things, people were thinking about it coming from his end because he wanted to go deal with men.
Yeah.
So that was the basis of the rumors back then. But then you start with the whole August Alsina thing, and then that pops up, and people are like, well, they do have an open, right? But people weren't talking about it from Jada's point for POV. They was talking about it from Will's previously. So they're like, oh, well, if he's out there dealing with other dudes, then she should be able to go out there and deal with other dudes. Like, I think there's a joke in there somewhere, but, they do the whole red table talk thing. They put their whole lives out on blast. Which is just
so awkward, man. But like, I just have to completely cut you off. But that shit is so awkward. Like the absolute awkward energy and all that shit is like, why would you keep some shit to yourself? Like, why are we oversharing our personal lives? But continue. I apologize.
Yeah. Nah, speak up, man. I got no problems with that. Yeah. So, people are talking about it from Will's point of view. And then it turns up that, she's back, she's rocking the remnants, the ghosts of a cradle, because it's not like he was underage. He was 23 at the time. Right. And so we're not gonna put that nasty term on her because she doesn't deserve that. She deserves a lot of nasty terms, and that the whole underage thing because he was 23, that don't belong to her. We're not going to slap that on her. But however,
slap Chris Rock, yeah,
but she makes the move with the younger guy. What a lot of older women tend to do because the guys their age are not checking for them. And Will goes out there and he does two things. He addresses the August situation and he reveals just how much of a beta cuck he is by, in the interview, revealing, oh, well, it was Jada's idea. She never believed in a regular relationship or what have you. And I'm just like, so she is the one that's running the show. Doesn't look good on you. Right. So, and Blind Bat says, Jada dissed him by putting her crap right out there. Now she got a problem with it. This is not the time to prove he's a man. He's long past that.
Absolutely.
Yo, we gotta give him the finger snaps. Oh, no, absolutely. Let's go, Blind Bat. Let's go.
Well, the problem though is like Blind Bat just said is like his man card has been like thrown out the window.
Revoked.
Like, bro, like it's currently in
Ukraine. He's been walking on a suspended man license for a year.
It's currently getting invaded like Ukraine, bro. Like it's absolute fucking crazy that like Will Smith, like this was the breaking point. Like it's not the breaking point when your kids are saying, "I wish Tupac was my dad," right?
No. We're gonna go into it.
Yeah,
but the joke,
the breaking point, bro.
Dude, the joke wasn't the breaking point.
No.
And we're gonna get into that. So anyway, Will does two things in that interview. One, he reveals that it wasn't his idea. Now, when you're talking about non-monogamy, 9 times out of 10, it's the guy bringing it up because, he wants a little bit of that vaginal variety. Okay. But he couldn't stop there. He also revealed that there was something else he wanted to reveal to the public, but he wasn't ready for the backlash. Really? Well, it's been an open secret for years. We kind of get a sense of what you wanted to reveal in that interview. But that the black community wasn't going to be all about that. Some of the black women would have been like, yes, girl. You would have had a couple of those, but that you would not be able to sell any more of your movies if you would have revealed what you really wanted to reveal. So he did two things that, I mean, he gave himself two L's. I mean, he punched himself in the face, gave himself two black eyes with the interview. Blind Bat says, Jada is wearing the pants in the family. He's wearing the panties. I hope you don't slap me. I mean, dude, you want to go after Chris Rock? Yo, we've been roasting you for a year. The whole internet has been roasting you for a year. Yeah. And again, I don't even think he wanted to go at Chris Rock. I don't think he wanted to do that. I don't think he wanted to, because there's two things that I notice, and only one of those things am I hearing people talk about. Okay, everybody's talking about the fact that he laughed first. No, not everybody's talking about it. There are some stupid motherfuckers in the world. Oh my God, he's such a man. Oh, you were talking about my wife. You know, I would act like that. You would laugh first, and then look over at her, and then hesitate, and then walk up real slow, and then wind up like a female. You would do all that. But here's the second thing. Here's the second thing that fucked me up about this. Did anybody catch how far away Will Smith was sitting from Jada Pinkett from the very beginning? Why is nobody talking about that? Help me out here, Paul. Help me out here.
Oh, I think because people want, how do I put this? People want to white knight Jada, right? Like, I don't think they're going to look at the situation with a clarity to it. And I saw some pretty dumb fucking takes, right? Like saying like, oh, well, he's just standing up for his wife. He's doing what's right. Like, I've seen the stupidest takes on fucking Twitter, right? First off, if you getting checked and you're fucking Jada has the fucking essentially the pants in the relationship, you can't say you have a man card. He was giggling, he was laughing. They were kind of, they had a good distance, table distance in between each other. They weren't right next to each other. It's not like they were super intimate. He's like kind of laughing. Jada rolls her eyes, and then she probably had on her phone like a little vibrator up his ass that like she buzzed. It's like, if you don't go up there and smack Chris Rock, I'm just gonna keep this on all night.
Oh my God!
And you're gonna split your pants in front of everyone. Like, you know what I mean? I just think that Will Smith is a bitch.
Yo, if she double tap the button, the spikes come out the side.
Exactly, bro. Like, yo, I just think it's absolute ridiculousness that Will Smith, the one that's been getting clowned, getting roasted. Everyone knows he's openly bi or whatever. He's into men on the side, slipping tips in the, whatever, right? He likes the tip jar. Who gives a shit? But like, bro, if you want to keep that energy, keep that same energy at that table with your wife. Why aren't you smacking your wife? No, okay, that's gonna get taken out of context. But like, your wife openly disrespects you. Just essentially said she doesn't view you as a man, right? And like Chris Rock, it's like the one. And it was an okay joke. I didn't think it was super hilarious, but it was okay. I got a chuckle out of it, like the G.I. Jane joke. I'm like, like that is not the fucking that shouldn't be the trigger for you. Like if the
wasn't.
Ridicule, I know, but like if the ridicule and all the roasting and the memes and shit like that before about
you better just sit, you better sit there and have and you better put on that red table talk face that you had. You better sit there with your eyes tearing up red, looking at Jada like that scene in the Fresh Prince. When his father is standing there, why don't you want me? Why don't you want me?
Oh man, like I feel bad, like like Uncle Phil's rolling in his grave as we speak. I just say this, man, it's just absolute insanity that shit happened last night.
Absolutely insane.
Like it's absolutely insane.
It ruined the internet for me for at least 2 weeks.
A part of me thought it was, like I said, I thought it was staged at first. Because I'm like, like really, like. But then when he was like yelling like a fucking lunatic, like I just keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Like, like what is that shit? Keep my just absolute.
And the dude, he really tried to say it with his chest. It reminds me of when they had the pre-fight press conference at a UFC event a few years ago when Kevin Lee was supposed to fight Michael Chiesa, and Michael Chiesa like loses his mind. Stop talking about my mom! Stop talking about my mom! And I love Michael Chiesa. This is not really that much of a jab at Michael Chiesa. I love Michael Chiesa. He's a great submission artist. He's a great grappler. He's a great commentator.
Will's a great submission artist as well, bro. Like absolutely.
No. He's a cuck artist. So let's break it down.
Oh fuck.
Did you see? And I don't watch these award shows because they're bullshit, right? But was there any other married couples stationed that far apart from each other in the entire room?
I didn't see. I mean, like I more saw like the viral.
Come on, we know the answer to this question. This is not fucking rocket surgery.
No.
There's no married couple sitting 10 feet away from each other. That's just not happening. That's not a real married couple. Let's just put that out there, just the way it is. I don't think that. I think that Will is still very much smitten with her because from what I understand, he grew up without a father, so he's always going to be drawn to women that are going to emasculate him. That's just who he is, right? So the more that she shows a lack of interest in him, the more that he's going to be interested in her, which is a hallmark of how women look at men. We know women are more interested in men that don't give a shit about them. I mean, I dare somebody to counter that argument. But we generally don't see that. We don't see women going towards the guys that are like legitimately interested in them. Women tend to gravitate towards the guys that don't know they exist or care.
Yeah.
So Will again, here we go again with more of this feminine approach to living. He approaches his relationships like a woman. He approached Chris Rock like a woman. And then when he went back to his seat, then he wanted to.
Yo, the smack, bro. Like, brah. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I keep looking at that smack. Like, I slowed it down. It's like, just smacked him across the face, man. Like, continue. I'm sorry. I'm childish.
Ain't nothing childish about what you're saying. I mean, after what we saw yesterday, all bets are off at this point.
Yeah, like you are more upset about this, and I understand.
I mean, he let this chick put a battery in his back.
Bro, listen. Listen, I don't think my theory's far off. I think she got a vibrator up his ass and got him control. I'm being real. Let's keep it a buck. Like, my thing is I think this is kind of let's make this into something that we should just have a real conversation about, like how men should go about in dating.
Oh yeah.
So this, I think, like, gentlemen, like young men, this is a learning moment. This is a teaching moment, right? You'd be, hey, what did Will Smith do? Why did he get there? And what can I do to prevent from being cocked? Right? So my thing is this. You gotta be in a relationship with a woman that respects your masculine energy, right? You need a woman to respect.
Well, that's not number one. Number one is you gotta approach life with some masculine energy, because a woman is not going to be able to pick up on your masculine energy unless it's there.
Well, but exactly. But I'm saying, if you're going in the process of courtship, trying to slither in the dithers, like whatever. But my thing is this. Right. I'll start one. Yes, you should be working on your masculine energy, how you portray yourself to the world. Right. Because how you act in life and act in public is how people will perceive you. If you're perceived as being weak, only a certain type of woman will be looking at you, right?
Right.
Like,
And let's talk about that too. Like, I think that is really super important for people to understand this concept. There's been some talk about the fact, especially with the whole Tupac thing, right? Guys, we gotta stop pining away for women that are not attracted to us. And the thing is, a lot of people will look at Will Smith and say, "Well, he's an attractive guy. He's rich. He was hitched for goddamn sake." I mean, now he's. I don't want to steal Alba and Preach's joke, but we looked at him as Hitch, and then he turned into a different itch.
yeah.
But guys, no matter how attractive, how tall, how much money that you have, if you're a woman's second, third, 18th choice, you've already lost the game.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, look at the way that Jada has approached Will. Every single time, every single chance that she gets to talk about Tupac Shakur, she does.
Yeah. Well, and I also think she knows it's just a topic that keeps her relevant. Because who's checking for Jada Pinkett Smith? Like, is anyone? Like, I maybe I'm wrong, but I don't check for Jada. The only reason I even know about Jada as much as I do is because of the absolute emasculation that Will Smith has partaken in the past couple of years. But is anyone checking for Jada?
No, I mean, she used to be a starlet. Like, I thought about this before we went live. I was like, what happened to her? I mean, she went from, being a starlet to an old almond. I mean, she looks like an old almond now.
So Will Smith's going to come up to our podcast and beat us up. Like,
he ain't going to do shit until she tells him to.
I'll say, yeah. Well, like I said, there's that vibrator up his ass. I think this, man. Like, I think when it comes down to
battery in his back.
I think Jada definitely has a lot of emotional control over Will, because it is telling to me he's kind of just sitting back like, and then like Jada rolls her eyes, does that like head movement as you saw, and then like a minute, like not even a minute later, like 20 seconds later, just, stand up. I'm like, I gotta defend my wife. Like, it's weird how. It's just so.
Can we also talk about the fact that she ruined the opportunity to actually make some money starring in G.I. Jane 2? She just fucked up her own bag.
Fucked up the bag. Absolutely.
Because she could have made some money with that.
Dude, listen.
She was terrible in The Matrix 4. She was horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole movie was bad.
Well,
she was horrible in it.
Well, that's a whole different discussion we can have. And I think that we both know the main reason.
I don't think it's that much of a different discussion. I mean, she played an emasculator.
Yeah.
She played an emasculator's role there too. I mean, the whole movie was about emasculation of men. That was the agenda of that film. Well, and she fit into that nicely.
Well, you do know why, right? Because the director.
Yeah, Leah Thomas, the whole thing. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So
yeah,
we have that discussion. Yeah. But anyways.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The whole Will Smith thing, man. Like, the one thing I want these guys to take apart is like, if you're talking with a girl and she doesn't respect you as a man, get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if you've been dating, right? Let's say dating was going well, but now like after a couple of years, she ain't respecting you like that.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out. Because if she's not going to respect you as a man, she's going to trample all over you. And you have to have, and men, you need to have some fucking fucking respect, right? You need to stand up for yourself. You can't let your woman walk all over you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying going in there, going crazy, start Chris Brown and some women. Well, actually, to be fair, Chris Brown allegations are true. But can't go like Chris Brown, Rihanna type shit. Can't go crazy. Can't go wild. Just remove yourself from the situation and find a woman that's going to respect you as your masculine energy. And to be fair, though, if women keep disrespecting you in that manner, take a look in the mirror and learn that you have to improve. Look at the areas that you may be coming up short in. But it's just another big takeaway for me, man, is like Chris Rock handled that shit like a G. Like absolute stone cold.
Well, we know Jimmy Dean is in the building when he's trolling. I mean, this is the ultimate in white knighting when you think about it, because
let me protect you, my lady.
Yeah, but the thing is, that was not his first instinct.
No.
Do you understand how this whole situation could have been changed if he would have just laughed in that bitch's face with everybody else?
Yeah.
And he would have let the full weight of the internet come down on her. She would have been the meme, not him.
Yep.
See, the thing is, I've been very critical of Will Smith. We've done videos on this channel. I've done videos on my channel talking about how men should not want to be him.
Yep.
Or act or carry themselves in the manner that he does, right?
Absolutely.
And I keep saying that Jada keeps handing him L's. And if you look at all of those situations through last night's lens, of course, I know the hindsight is 2020, but Jada's not working that hard to give him L's. He's going out there reaching for them.
Well, yeah, now, but still doing fucking those red tables. Listen,
he didn't have to do the red table. That's exactly my fucking point.
Bro, like I said, man's got a battery in his back. What you expect? God damn. She probably had some, like, she probably has a dungeon down below. Like, I'm imagining it.
Hey, yo.
Bro, I think it's the wild shit. Like, if I'm Will Smith, why am I still around? Unless I'm subconsciously, or not even subconsciously.
Yeah, he likes this shit.
I'm just into this shit, right? Just like bending over, being like, yes, Jada, my queen, let me lick your toes.
Hey, there's one thing I might have to say in Will's defense. Which one of them has more money?
Okay, fine. Give you
so
that.
It's Will by a country mile, right?
Yeah.
This dude might be doing everything he can to save his net worth.
Bruh. Listen, like it's Will.
If Chris Rock sues him, he's going to lose less money in that lawsuit than the one in divorce court.
Bro, it's Will Smith. It's Will fucking Smith. I'm not trying to put this in a way where money isn't a thing, but at some point, there has to be some self-respect. Not a bunch of fucking lotion in the bedroom. Like, absolutely taking it. Like, have some goddamn self-respect and leave the relationship. You have kids that don't even love you. Honestly, it just seems like that. Like, they're kids. This is what Jada has done to that family. The kids are openly disrespecting.
No, this is what Will has done to the family.
Listen, Will is culpable, definitely at fault. But what I'm saying is, you have to agree with me on this. The kids look at Will Smith worse because the mother probably says, like, talks a little bit of shit about Will. Like, look how they
don't even need to listen to her. They're just watching him.
Bro, but Will Smith, I'm just saying, as a man, right? Like, for your last strain of fucking dignity, walk out, call it a day.
Nah, it's a wrap already. He did that at the fucking Oscars. He did that at the Oscars.
So he even won an Oscar. That's the crazy thing.
And no one cares.
No one cares, bro. Like, you see that emotional chick.
The Williams sisters are collateral damage in all of this.
Yep.
Because no one gives a fuck about the fact that film won an Oscar. And it was about a black man doing something positive. And let's get into the racial component right quick. I know that you're not, qualified to speak on this.
I said, listen, you know what? I don't want to get banned.
So. Yeah. So I'm gonna pivot and talk about Chris Rock for a second. Okay. Number one, I got to give this man a shit ton of respect.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people probably are not thinking about is that Chris Rock is looking at the situation. He knows that people have been wanting to slap the shit out of him for probably 50 years. Okay. He knows this. Okay, because he knows when he was in school, his mouth probably got him in trouble. All those kinds of things, right? But the thing that I found to be most impressive is that he took a step back. He paused. He thought about what he was going to do next, what he was going to say next. Because people don't understand, Chris Rock can defend himself very, very well if he wanted to. But I think that he understood that there is a racial implication to this. Because if Chris Rock would have defended himself, remember, he was the attacked, he was the aggrieved here. Nobody would really care so much that Chris Rock was defending himself. They would have said, look, those are two niggas on stage.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, two black men, two rich black men having a nigga moment. And my black people know what the fuck I'm talking about. Most people in the world would have said, oh, there go them black guys. There go those black men again.
No,
absolutely.
No, dude, listen.
If they get into a fight on the stage at the Academy Awards, they would look at them niggas over there.
No, listen, I'm not saying.
And I think Chris Rock knew that.
Listen, I'm not naive to say that there's not some ignorant people that will say that, like be like, oh, they would have that line of thought. But bro, most people be like, yo, you gonna smack me, man? Like, fuck you. And like,
if it was two white men up there, that would be the first thought.
No. I don't think so. I think there's gonna be that small sect. I get what you're saying, but to me,
traditionalist, he disagrees. He says maybe Alabama would. I'm telling you guys, I've been black for almost 40 years. And I've seen a lot of situations where if the races were different, the perception of it would have been different. I had to talk with my guy Louis Rossman about the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and he disagreed with me. And the only thing I can think of is if the kid with the gun, who was underage with a gun in a state he didn't live in, had a weapon out in the streets and he was black, how would that have gone over in Middle America in the Bible Belt?
Bro,
everybody defended this kid, right?
Look,
but if it was a black kid in Chicago, which is also in the Midwest, not far from when that whole debacle, they're not that far from Wisconsin. If a black kid at age 17 has a handgun because he knows that somebody is out to get him and he shoots in self-defense and he knows people are coming after him because he lives in a bad neighborhood, are white people going to say, well, he did the right thing, it was self-defense? No, it's another nigga with a gun.
Okay, I don't want to make this into that discussion because I think that we could actually flush this out far better in a different episode, but I'm just going to...
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if Chris Rock defends himself and they get into a brawl and security has to come converge and pull two black men off of each other, people are going to make it a racial issue. Absolutely.
I don't think anyone with some common sense sees.
Who has any fucking common sense? People actually think Will Smith was defending honor. The nigga laughed first.
Bro, I'm just saying, I think if optically that happened, I know myself and I know pretty much everyone I know would be like, yo, he smacked Chris Rock. Yo, you're gonna, start shit. Well, you gotta be about it. Like, let's be real. I think Chris Rock would have probably washed him. I just think that, I don't agree. I get your understanding. I get your feelings regarding that, but I don't think, is there going to be that some assholes in Alabama when they're fucking their cousins probably thinking that type of shit? Probably. But
how many Republicans still say that January 6th was not a plot to overthrow the government? It was not an insurrection. It was a peaceful protest. How many Republicans have you heard say that?
How many Democrats throw a lot of the controversies around Biden and Hunter that has been fleshed out with Burisma?
And that's half the fucking country. Don't give me some Alabama bullshit. A lot of people would be on that bullshit. That is my fucking point.
Listen, I think the majority of human beings, because you can't do politics because we both know both parties will fucking fight for something they know is inherently wrong just because that's what their side views.
That's
right?
my point.
But I think most human beings would look at a situation with a conflict and be like, yo. I'll be straight. Like, hey, we not doing it here. But like, let's get it back. Let's get more back onto the point of Chris Rock. I think how he handled that shit was like a G.
Yeah, he was a fucking G.
And like, he took a step back. He's like, wow, dude, it's a joke. It's a G.I. Jane joke. And then like, he might name out your mouth. And he's like,
stop talking about my mom.
Yeah, bro, like,
I love you, Mike Chiesa. Michael Chiesa, I love you, but I gotta invoke it,
bro. But he's like, this is like the greatest moment in Oscars history, like, or television history.
Yeah,
like, he handled that shit. And like, the thing is, now Chris Rock has so much comedic like jokes right from this shit. Like, I just can't wait for his next stand up if he does one soon, because we all know those jokes are coming.
Yeah, but another thing too that you guys aren't understanding is that if I'm thinking it, other black people are thinking it too. So it's not just the white people, because I know you might be thinking, oh, it's white people looking at black people like that. And yes, that would be the case. But we collectively as a community would know, wow, another L for the black community out in public. You can't take niggas nowhere. I mean, that is an infamous phrase in our community for a reason.
Yeah. Well, I get what you're saying. I don't want to make this completely.
When you go out to a restaurant and you hear somebody yelling real loud in the restaurant and you go to turn, who are you expecting?
A fat Italian. Because like where I live, bro, they don't shut the fuck up. I'm trying to eat. I'm just saying. Bro, am I wrong? Because
but Italians are known as the what of white people.
Okay, fucking Bartholomew, I'm trying to eat a chicken. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I had to.
I think that Chris Rock was very measured, because Chris Rock is still a professional in the end, and I think that Chris Rock really understood the gravity of the moment. And I think that, there are going to be interviews about this later on. And and Chris Rock is very, very black aware, right? He's very, very black aware. And I guarantee you, one of the items that he will mention is the fact that you have two insanely wealthy, insanely famous black men out in public having a nigga moment. And he's going to say, well, in a lot of ways, if you look at everything that he did and said from the time that Will walked up there to when he tried to introduce the nominees for the documentary or whatever.
Yeah.
He was really trying to protect Will Smith's public image in everything that he did. He was trying to protect Will Smith. He tried to turn it around to make Will Smith not the villain.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I just think that, Will Smith is thinking in a very emotional sense, and that he's not even emotional. Just like I said, he's cocked. It is what it is.
Yeah. And I want to say one thing, because Jimmy Dean thinks it's a work. When Chris Rock failed to introduce the nominees, you need to go back and watch that again, because his manhood was welling up. The tension was rising, and he had to do something to get the camera off of him to diffuse it, because he was running that scenario in his head, and it was welling up, and it cut his ability to speak. So when he was about to introduce the nominees, he was just like, just show them, right? Because the dude was trying to stay composed. Above all else, he wanted to stay composed. Because again, he understands that he is a black man on the world stage. He is a black man on the world stage. And I think that he really did. He really did understand the gravity of all of this. And I understand that some people would not understand this, but this is something that us Black people absolutely recognize and understand. Whenever two Black men are out in public doing violence, because remember, we don't talk about white on white crime, even though white on white crime happens at similar rates to Black on Black crime. We don't have Asian on Asian crime. We don't have Latino on Latino crime. The only phrase that we have in this country is, oh, Black on Black crime. Let's talk about Chicago. Chris Rock understands that. I understand that. Will Smith hesitated. He understood that on some level. But he knew he had a choice. He was either going to lose at home or he was going to lose in public. And he'd been lost in public. I mean, he lost at home, too. I don't know what the fuck he thought he was doing. He's a loser. He's the richest, greatest looking, most accomplished loser in the history of the world.
Absolutely. He used to Twitch streamer before Twitch streamers. So it's
oh, my God.
Yeah. Man. I know it's a.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'll just say this: is that a lot to be learned from this. Chris Rock really handled that situation well. I think that, frankly,
I'm dropping the link for anybody that wants to come up and speak their piece and talk about what they think. So hit that link when you come up. You can introduce yourself. And then you can give us your opinion of what went down and what ramifications you think will come from or have come from this incident. Because for me, it was very disappointing. On the disappointing side, I have no interest in watching I Am Legend 2 now. I have no interest in it. I will never watch another movie with Will Smith in it again.
Bro, I'm
or Jada Pinkett. I'm done with both of them.
Bro, his melee though in I Am Legend 2 is going to be sick. He's going to slap everyone that goes across him. It's going to be great. I listen. I wasn't big into the I Am Legend. I thought it was an okay movie, but yeah, I don't know. But the thing is, I haven't had respect for Will Smith for a while, right? Like this wasn't the moment where it broke the game.
Yeah, but at least I can enjoy the fucking movies. At least that.
Just like, what reminded me of that moment? Excuse me. That moment reminded me of because not to this same degree, obviously, but like, remember when Joe Budden chased that kid with rocks? Like that?
No, but that sounds funny as shit, though.
Yeah,
that sounds funny as shit.
So Joe Budden, he was having beef with Drake, and some kids went to his place and was like, Drake, OVO crew forever. And he grabbed a couple of rocks and started chasing them in a car, dude. And there's memes. I'll send it to you after the show. Absolute viral moments in hip hop history at the time. It's like even Royce had a lyric about Joe Budden chasing those kids with those rocks. But yeah, I think it should be a situation where men should learn, you can't be in these relationships that don't respect you.
Nope.
Because that's how you're gonna act
and it doesn't matter how much fucking money you have, how famous you are, how tall you are.
No. Well, let's have this conversation, right? White knighting, right? When is it right and when is it wrong, right? When is it right to protect your wife and when is it wrong? Okay. What situations would you say qualify for you to put hands on another person, if anything regarding your wife? Why don't you go first? Let's say someone.
I want to make an unrelated point because I'm glad you asked that question, and maybe we'll talk about this later in the show about the constant attacks on comedians.
Yeah.
Right. I just We got to stop attacking comedians for the jokes that they make on stage. They are supposed to be the exception to all of the decorum rules in society. Jimmy Dean says, e.g., can you separate the person from the art? You have previously voiced your strong opinions on the personal lives of MMA fighters. You seem pretty consistent if you're vowing to boycott Smith's movie. Yeah, I'm pretty consistent on that. I think for me, I got to be able to. You have to be able to separate the person. You have to have that kind of immersion in a movie, right? The suspension of disbelief has to be there in order for you to enjoy a film. And every single film that you will see from now on, you are going to think about what happened on that stage. You're going to think about that feminine ass slap. You're going to think about him laughing first and then looking at Jada. You're going to think about all that first. And another thing, I don't feel like contributing to their empire of chaos and stupidity. And when you go see one of these films, with one of them in it, you're helping put more money in their pocket. You're keeping them more relevant. People ask me about somebody. One of these guys is famous for no reason. One of my clients, they asked me about Kanye West. I don't talk about Kanye West. I don't talk about Kim Kardashian. You know why? Because when they're spoken about in public, that contributes to their empire, because that's how they make their money. They make their money on attention, ill-gotten attention that they have not earned with talent. So it's very difficult for me to watch a Will Smith movie and be excited. That's why. I don't think that he's done anything bad in society where he should be boycotted. I just don't find him to be compelling, and he just destroyed the fourth wall for every movie. He destroyed the fourth wall because the only thing I'm going to see is a beta cuck. I'm not going to buy you as Hancock. Do you remember how awesome that movie was until they went Hollywood at the end with it?
Yeah.
I can't even go back and watch that movie. All I see is a beta cuck.
I mean, but so yeah, you like I understand.
Yeah, this is another good point. His kids live with no direction and no discipline because he doesn't have any.
I think, I think some of that is too because it's trendy. But
I don't want to say something about somebody being feminine. Just look in the comments and laugh, but don't say anything. What is more feminine than that? That comment.
Yeah. What up, Will Smith? Thanks for stopping by.
Will Smith's slap. Which was more feminine?
I mean, the slap to me, but like, I think.
Yeah, we got to put some respect on this other guy's name. I mean, that hair is legendary. He's got some legendary hair. He's got
I mean, Will Smith probably wishes he had that, so Jada had something to grab onto when she's taking
but
like when it comes down to white knighting, right? Because I'm gonna break it down. The comedian making a joke that doesn't justify you.
The attacking of Dave Chappelle, the attacking of Chris Rock.
Like, yo,
it's got to stop.
It's a fucking
Joe Rogan. Got to stop
attacking
attacking these guys.
To keep that same fucking energy when people roast you in public, right? Like, I can understand this. If someone, like, let's say they're out, someone's disrespectful up in your wife's grill, fucking saying something super disrespectful. You say, yo, chill. And then they don't chill. Then you check that motherfucker. Yeah. Right? Because I'm gonna vocally have a conversation.
Wait, is it okay if I laugh first?
Sure.
At the roasting of my wife, is it okay if I do that first?
I mean,
and then look at her to see how she feels about it, and then decide whether or not that's not okay. Okay.
No.
All right.
Like, you have to kind of be like, yo, cut the shit. That's my wife. Cut the shit. That's my girl. And then if they keep openly being disrespectful, but yo, like, sometimes you just gotta learn shit the hard way. And then if you're about it, you're about it. The thing is, though, in a situation like this where you're at a Oscars, you're at a Emmys, or you're at like any type of event like this where the host generally makes jokes, right? 2016. Chris Rock made a funny joke about Jada Smith not being there at the Oscars, and how she was like boycotting it, and he was like who like what's she up? Like what? Like, oh, do you hear about Jada Smith like boycotting the boycotting the Oscars? It's like, oh well, like why the fuck she's boycotting for? She wasn't gonna win anything, and like the whole crowd just died laughing. And so you go here, 2022. She goes to the Oscars, and obviously she's not really up for anything. It's Will, and Chris Rock has been known to roast people.
No! Oh no! Oh man! Yo, Clinks, I need you to set up my soundboard. I would have hit the bomb button on this one, son. Oh my god!
Bro. Yo, if that's true,
oh
that's
man!
wild. But
like when Argus is smashing her from the back, he's grabbing her bald head. Oh shit!
Imagine, yo,
yeah, she's his prisoner of war from the back.
So my thing is this: like, it doesn't to me matter what the fuck the context of it is. It's a comedian telling a fucking joke, right? Like you have
exactly
in today's society, we're so fucking soft, and most of it, I'm just gonna blame, as my bias is telling me, the left. But we'll just say it this, bro. Like nobody can go to a college campus, take a joke.
Well, the right can't take a joke either. Remember that funny little bleeding head fucking fruitcake thing that Kathy Griffin made? And they basically wanted her thrown in prison for threatening the president's life.
Bro, okay, so
the right does it too. Like, everybody is a weak bitch ass bitch in modern society. Let's just call it what it is.
But to me, it's more left, definitely more left than ever. Like it's more left.
No. I drive. We need you up on this panel. That's number one. Number two, right? It reminded me of when Lysol got fresh out the joint and walked in the room. Yo, we gonna need that bed. And he's like, and so the white guy is like, yeah, let's go. Let them have the bed, Kitty. Let's go. She's like, no, I think I'm gonna stay here. Yeah, Lysol and Tyree are genuinely nice guys. And you see them smashing her, and then you pan in the corner to the white boy, and you see him in the corner, and he's jerking over. Like, yo, if you guys have not seen, the Mad Real World skit Chappelle Show, please do. We're gonna welcome to the stream our guy, I Drive B. What's good? Yo, you're in the comments right now, just blowing it up. Let's hit the Funkmaster Flex bomb on him. Dude, talk to him.
Yo, let's ready for entanglement. I'm seeing it right here.
I had to pop in. Yeah, fucking. That was the first thing I seen this morning. That just like people making jokes about Will. It was a picture. It was a picture. So I figured it was some kind of thing with the new Bel Air show, and they were doing some kind of joke. And I was like, yo, these people are really fucking reposting memes about like a joke at the Oscars. And then I kept scrolling. I didn't think anything of it. And then I saw another thing, and I was like, what is going on? And then somebody posted like uncensored from China or whatever. And it was him.
Imagine China. Imagine China. Oh man. Imagine China airing the Academy Awards with their anti-American media stance. Imagine that,
bro. Like I just think that
we'll get Lutch back in a bit.
Oh yeah, we'll get it back in a minute. I think he just had to go, but I think with the white knighting shit, bro, like if your wife is being disrespected in person by someone that you view as a threat, we can have a different discussion. But bro, like I am getting tired, and like I said, I feel like a lot of it is coming from the left. I do get right can't take a joke, but it's like, dude, like nobody can take a joke anymore, right? Comedians stay away from college campuses because it's a breeding ground of stupidity and sensitivity. Like Dave Chappelle can't say some obvious truths without people being extremely upset and having like 10 employees of Netflix walking out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just everything is such virtue signaling bullshit. Nobody is like everyone is afraid to say what is on their mind anymore. Like everyone's like, you know what? I don't agree. I don't think that's right. I think that's pretty funny, but I don't want to be mean and be offensive.
Right.
And that's the kind of the situation we're running into. Oh, look at that.
Oh, he had to show his Jesus ass hair. What a
Shit, bro.
bitch.
The boss called. But yeah, so that was my
Yeah, so
my.
so give your analysis on this farce. Nice Jersey Devils. Nice Jersey Devils.
Yeah,
hoodie.
there you go. Just for you, Captain Paul. That's my stay warm in the bedroom.
I mean, I can go get my Rangers jersey. You know, I could go do that. You know,
I did it just for Captain Paul. Just for Captain Paul. But I mean, the way I seen it, especially because the big thing is that he laughed first. Like, if you found it funny, bro, then you found it funny. Like, what is the issue? And then you look over and you're like, oh, I'm in trouble. And happy wife. Oh, and then like the fact that I bet you
kill me now.
All that shit, the entanglements, the memes, everything. He's like, all right, I'm grabbing it back right now. I'm gonna go be a man, smack. And Chris Rock didn't even touch his face. He was just like, all right, Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me. And that's just some beta shit, bro. Like, it's just he bleeds beta.
Yes.
Like,
yo,
in that
moment,
slap
wind up, son. The slap wind up.
I mean, I didn't watch it that many times. I just need to fucking bitch ass slap.
Dude, so. I only needed to see it once, and I saw it. Right? Do you remember that meme that they have of Will Smith presenting Jada on the red carpet?
Yep. And he's just like,
saw how feminine he looked? Yeah. That's exactly the same mechanics he used in that. It's hard to call it a bitch slap because it was a bitch doing the slapping. But
yeah, that's where the fuck do you think it comes from? Call a bitch slap. I'm a bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It's sad. It's sad because the dude just doesn't have any any direction. Like, I don't think he knows how to, like, what to do with his life. He's got like all this money, he's got all this fame, but obviously he's not happy in his marriage. And I mean, I bet he's all right with it, you know, the situation with the kids as far as like, you know, just being a family. I don't see any like huge red flags there. But just like him as a person, he seems like he's just like living, you know, role to role, and then he just goes home and plays another role.
Wow, that's some real shit. That's some real shit right there. I don't know if I was particularly ready for that line. Ooh.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, ever since he was 17 or some shit when Fresh Prince started.
Yeah.
And he's been, you know, that was I'm pretty sure I remember reading that like he didn't have any like experience before that. They just like found him and he just started starring on his own show. And then ever since then, he's been Will Smith. And so like, you know, that works for a while.
Oh, shit. Oh, dude, my Will Smith ass detector. It's fucking going crazy, dude. Like, dude, I can't respect this man. And it didn't vibrate as much as I thought it would there. But it's just like, yo, like, bro, you're in a situation, public forum, and like you're laughing. Your wife looks back, rolls her eyes, stuff like that. And he's like, gotta make my just like had to go up there. Stop it. And just like, you know, went up to Chris Rock and just openly smacked him like a bitch. It's like, yo, like, what are you doing? Why?
And so that just before I jumped off, I was saying somebody posted some like uncensored thing, and he was sitting in the crowd. I don't know if y'all saw this. He was like, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Yeah. Yo, it's like it's a joke, bro. Like, do you? And that's what I think the saddest part is. I think that him, from the moment he saw Jada's face and decided to get up, he felt like that was going to be like his alpha moment.
And he still hesitated. And he still hesitated.
Did he?
I kind of wanted, like, if you're gonna go out there and do it, like, at least go like a man and punch him, right? Like, I'm not condoning violence, but like the open hand smack in the feminine manner he did it with the finish, like you're seeing people like, you know, like the finish with the slap, like photoshopping it into Pokemon where it's like gotta catch it all through a Pokeball. Like, bro, the unfortunate part is that Will Smith like went from like a really revered figure to like just this laughing stock in the last couple of years, and like I don't understand, like, as a man, you got to have at least some self-respect. Like, I personally think he should get out of that relationship. I just think it's like he's not taken seriously as a man at all. Like, it's like I said, she always references Tupac, always references past lovers.
Oh, yeah. Like, and what do you think? You know, Jimmy Dean just said punches are meant to hurt, right? Right? Smacks are meant to slaps and smacks are meant to embarrass, right?
I mean, he embarrassed himself.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
So,
well, that's what I was saying.
What was the point of all of that?
The thing is, like, you know, Cap, you were saying before, like, if he checked it, said something to check it, like, hey, that's my wife, and then he's still going, like, now you're in a position where if you're going to go and get physical with somebody, like, that's different, like, because you put it out there. So, even if he didn't do that, and he just, like, walked up to Chris and, like, just stood there for a second and said, don't talk about my wife, bop, like, with a real pimp hand, then, you know, it would still be fucking cringe as shit. But I don't think we'd be fucking talking about it like this right now.
No, because like it was such a viral moment because it's just, I think like for example on Twitter, "cuck" has been trending. I just think it's one of those things that, you know, people are like, oh my god, like I didn't realize Jada had the gas like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just and it's just
and it's like, yo, and I gotta come from, you know, the side I gotta come from, right? When Will went to go hit that 2 years ago, and it was extra slippery inside there because, you know, August left July up in her. What was that? Where was that energy back then?
Yep.
Because he's a pussy. Like,
no, August was in her pussy. Get it right.
And so the real question is, do we think that if, like, you know, the cameras were off and Chris Rock just made that joke just off the cuff, right? Will never would have fucking had a problem with it.
No, because Chris Rock would have handled his shit. Like, let's be real. Like, Will Smith is like.
Yeah, people sleep on Chris Rock like he's just out here bitching these streets.
Like,
he's not.
Bro, like, listen, like, I think it's not like a Diddy and Drake situation where, like, you know, Chris Rock cried after getting smacked. Like, did he smack Drake and cry? Right? It's not that. Like, Rock took that shit like a G. And like, it was a joke. Like, what's wrong with you? But like Evil said, you know, the next segment he needed to, you know, like, just show the people. Like, Chris Rock probably wanted to go up to Will Smith and choke him the fuck out. But he understood, like, he looks better in the moment.
Yeah, and you can sense the tension in Chris Rock's body when he went back to go, like, be a professional. And there was a tension in his voice where he couldn't even get his next line out. And it was just like, he was at a serious crossroads right there, and he was trying to deflect it. He's trying to let all that pressure go because the man part of him is like, remember, Will didn't punch him. He hit him with an open hand. That is an invitation to fight. That is what did he say?
What did Chris say after? This is exactly how I know what he was thinking, based on what you just said. How he was, you know, obviously, like, he didn't expect that, but, you know, I had a shakiness in his voice. Like, you know, you're a live performer, shit happens. Like, obviously not that, but you have a certain level of, like, all right, the show must go on.
Yeah. Yes.
He had that moment, and he's like, well, that was the greatest moment in TV history or something, because that's what he was thinking. He was like, the only thing I'm not going to flip out is going to remake my fucking career.
Yeah, he has to find some way he has to find all the reasons why he should not retaliate.
And like that's it. You just fucking you stood there. You took the hit. You didn't even touch your face. You fucking laughed at it. You're like, all right, shit, man. And then
and isn't
you
she a
moved on.
strong, independent woman? She couldn't speak up for herself.
I bet you that's going to be the take from a bunch of feminists too.
Well, yeah, they're going to be mad at Will. They're going to be mad at Will because of his misogyny.
Well, to be fair though, like if she went up on stage, she probably would have been like people expecting her to check Chris Rock like a man because she looks like a man. But like, I don't know, man. Like I just think I think this is just sad. Personally, like I agree with this is sad. Like this is sad to see such an icon be destroyed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, this
guy used to be cool, known as the coolest dude, like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like the movies, and like well loved in Hollywood. He turned, he got rid of the stereotype of like rappers or like musicians acting and not being able to act, and they just get those roles because they're an artist, and actually becoming really good at the craft. And now, instead of looking this great legacy that he's left behind, the monumental moments he's had on TV and in movie in general, and now we just look at him being like, bro, like your wife's hitting you from the back with a strappy. Like it's just, I just can't I can't look at you the same, right? And like, listen, I'm not here to kink shame, but bro, like at least keep it in the fucking privacy of your bedroom. Don't openly emasculate yourself in public like that. And it's just, the problem is in society, there's not a lot of male role figures. There's not a good lot of father figures in the household, and more kids. There's more. I'll say this: there's more young boys like Will Smith now.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I mean. There's more boys like Will Smith because they don't know how to navigate in life. And like, I think one of the more important parts of at least what we're trying to build with this community is being how have an open dialogue and know how to maneuver in life. And this is not how you maneuver. Like Will Smith didn't have that proper male role model, in my opinion. If he's like letting Jada Pink, essentially make Will Smith wear a Tupac mask while they're fucking, it's just disrespectful. So I don't know. It's embarrassing to see the absolute like joke that Will Smith's become, the red tabletop. I can't get out of my mind with the tear eyes and stuff like that. I'm like, I no longer remember him for his great cinematic moments. I remember him for the fucking absolute gaffes and joke of his personal life.
Check this shit out. Check.
Episode 66.
Yo, I mean, is Kevin Samuels not undefeated? Is he not undefeated?
Undefeated. I mean,
again, Will Smith laughed first.
Yep.
Along with everybody else.
Oh man.
Such a shame. Such a shame. All right. Well, I gotta jump off because I'm about to go do my own podcast. I finally got Jesse on fire yesterday.
Tell everybody about your podcast.
So my podcast is called the I Didn't Read Your Book podcast. It's a show
where is it called
that? It's a show where I talk to authors about their books, which I have not read, expanded to some other content creators and stuff too, but mainly authors, and then doing live stuff like this. So I actually just talked to Jesse on Fire finally yesterday, and I got another yeah boy, and then I got this popular dog trainer from LA I'm about to talk to. So I'm thinking that might even turn into some panel stuff. So subscribe to the channel.
Steal your business.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not all the way out in LA, but maybe I'll hop out there. Who knows? All right, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for giving your take, man. We appreciate you.
All right. Peace out.
All right. Peace. Now, some very valid points there. I think. Darshan is here, one of our favorite authors and friends of the show. Of course, Darshan, you are always welcome to come up and give your thoughts on what happened here. So we're going to put that link in there. So, if you feel like speaking your piece on today's panel, you are free to do so. I think, again, and I'm just going to, go back to, the knowledge that I have as a black man in this country. And I think that Darshan is one of these people that will definitely let you know when black people look at situations like that, they know that we're going to take another hit to our collective public image. This is not something that people are going to look at and say, wow, those black people are awesome. They're civil. They're totally nonviolent. No, they're going to come after our public image on this. And this is why I believe that Chris Rock is the GOAT. Chris Rock handled that with the kind of class that most of us wouldn't under the circumstances.
Absolutely. I would completely, I think you're on point. I definitely agree with you. I think Chris Rock handled it extremely well, especially in a situation like I don't think I'd handle well. And Darshan.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to Darshan for a second. Darshan, I made the point earlier in today's stream that Chris Rock was very well aware of the racial, the social racial implications if he would have retaliated. What do you think? What do you think about my take, my analysis on that?
Your analysis it is correct. However, the actions of Will Smith doesn't warrant what was supposed to happen. You don't have to. Well, you're not supposed to go attack a man because he's making a joke about your wife. I'm married.
A professional comedian.
Well, but you got to understand. So I'm in the industry, right? So I've been on sets and I've done commercials. And in that particular instance at the Oscars, when there's the award ceremonies, that's a part of the host. That's their job, Yeah. And that's why Chris Rock was able to remain professional, although he got slapped the way he did. He was able to continue the show. There's an old saying in there that says the show must go on. Right. So what Will Smith did was it's not a good look on black men who are trying to be professional, because at some point the world still looks at us as like, you know what? Listen, they can't even maintain themselves, and that's been my whole biggest gripe about what I do. It's not that I'm trying to show the world like, hey, we're different over here. It's just like, don't put all of us black men in the same category, because if I was in that instance, I understand that Jada has alopecia. I understand that. And it's a medical condition. It's hereditary and all that good stuff. But I have to also understand that I'm at the Oscars about to receive one of the biggest awards in my lifetime. And this is going to be a part of my legacy for myself personally. I'm not going to let Chris Rock allow my moment to be diminished by a joke about my wife. I even asked my own wife about it. I say, hey, do you think Will Smith was right about what he did? And she was like, no, what should have happened was Jada should have stopped Will Smith from going up there, from embarrassing himself.
But she's the one that sent them up there. That's my whole issue with it. Everybody's like, oh my God, Will is defending her honor. The nigga laughed first. First.
It's crazy.
It's unfortunate because, like I said, a lot of Will's accomplishments are being thrown out the window. Even that night, right? Like you said, wins an Oscar, an amazing honor for him. He's kind of breaking ground in a lot of ways, showing that, artists can become very good actors. And I don't know, man. It's really sad to see him just in this moment completely embarrass himself.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, let me explain this. I did a stream about it last night, and one of the biggest things I pointed out was how quickly someone can rise to success and how quickly you can fall down. Let me be very clear. Yeah, Will Smith probably has some money. I've never seen his bank account, so I don't believe it until I see it. But what I do know is, so that's what they say. I haven't seen his bank account, so I don't believe when people say they have a certain amount of money. You have to show me that you have it, right? Because his actions don't dictate that he has $400 billion. That's not what people do who have money. You don't attack people when you have money. So that's so my point is, that's our public image as black men.
How many black men have you seen who are wealthy that are going out there acting a motherfucking fool? I mean, you've got Kanye West. Remember, I just.
Well, to be fair though, you have a bunch of white fucking people doing this stupid shit, and and unfairly,
nobody calls them out on it the same way.
Well, okay, to be fair though, there's some bias. Like most people, I'd say most common sense people these days do call them out. Like what was that? Like there was somebody that had like an assault, like I think it was a Bieber or somebody. Like everyone roasted him for it. It's like, bro, like. You can't, when you have that money, and he's absolutely right. When you have that amount of money, like why fight? Like it makes no sense. Like you have so much to lose.
And that wasn't his first instinct.
Oh.
His first instinct wasn't to go assault Chris Rock.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What I was trying to say was, look how quickly. So what a lot of people have to understand in that industry. You have marketing agencies that are behind you. You have film production companies that are behind you. Now he's going to he's going to lose deals. Okay, he's going to lose deals, and it's always this controversy over a woman. All the greatest wars have probably been taking place because of a woman. Most of the confrontations happen over a woman. So it's like a lot of men have to really control their emotions when it comes down to women. Yes, you can love your wife. Yes, you can protect your wife if someone physically assaults her. But sometimes, just sometimes, some of these words gotta go out the window.
No, absolutely. Like, what's the old saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones,
right.
but words
will
never hurt me.
But I think that was Will Smith's first instinct. His first instinct was to follow that. And I said it earlier in today's show. I believe that Will Smith could have taken back the narrative if he would have just laughed in her fucking face along with everybody else in the building, because that was his first instinct. And all the emasculating things that she's been doing over the last 2 years in public, and making sure everybody knows how little respect that she has for him. If he would have just let that rock.
Yeah, no, it would have been looked in a way. And like, as for marketing and advertising, I think Slap Shop should reach out to Will Smith, because I think that'd be kind of a solid little marketing point. But I do agree. I think like I think that.
Slap all your troubles away with the slap top. Stop having a boring tuna. Stop having a boring life.
Just like he has the onions, he's chopping it. I'm tired of entanglements. It just starts. But Darshan, you were saying, because you're bringing up some really awesome points. Yeah, you are. Sorry.
Yeah, listen. You guys are right. That would be funny, and I'm pretty sure there are some companies that are going to reach out to him. But here's one thing I notice about life, and when it comes down to business and relationships, you can ruin your whole entire life over one post, over one tweet, over one action, because there are some people in the world. As we can see, there are a lot of people who were actually looking at Will Smith like the totem pole of the role model of the world. And to see that display, a lot of people know, hey, man, that was not the right thing to do. I'm not going to mess with you. I can't rock with you. Yeah, you were trying to defend your wife, but on what grounds, man? On what grounds? Look what she did to you. Did she go smack anybody for you? No, actually, what she did was
she
made it more known
for him. By August,
she made it more known.
Was smacking it from behind.
Yeah, and then had the audacity to say the word entanglement, and he said, "Entanglement? You mean the relationship? The relationship you had with this guy that was never supposed to come out?" So when Will Smith and Jada, when they first talked about their open marriage, it was on the grounds of, I let Will go see other people. He let me go see other people. Then it turned into sex. See, that was what their open marriage was about at first.
No,
then
but that's what they said. But then Will admitted that it was on her because she didn't want a traditional relationship. He then put it on her. Yeah. That's what she wanted to do.
It's so funny. As I look through the Twitters and the Instagram, a lot of men and women feel that, this is what Will Smith deserves.
I can't disagree.
It's just, you kind of like, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And we can blame his father for not being there, because obviously he was raised under a single mother. And you, Darshan, as a father who has a daughter, and everything that you're doing to as a businessman, but also as just a normal man, to teach her, how to interact with men. And, Will was never really taught to be a man or how to interact with women on a masculine level. Mm. And again, Will Smith, no matter how objectively physically attractive he is, how tall he is, how wealthy, how famous he is, if you're not the woman's first choice, you are the first loser.
Yeah.
And one thing that you said, I'm gonna adjust one of the things you said earlier, and then see if you agree with this. You said it's real. The ascension is quick and the descension is quick, right? Mm-hmm. In Will Smith's case, is that actually the truth? Because he built up his public reputation over the span of 30 years, and he destroyed it in 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look what happened to the great Robin Williams. He took himself out. So men like Will Smith, it looks good. It looks very glamorous. The perception looks very glamorous. But as we can see, there's something terribly wrong on the inside. And men of his caliber take themselves out every single day.
Yep.
Men that we don't even know.
We just lost Taylor Hawkins to drugs 20 years after he almost died from a drug overdose. Yeah.
Yeah. So, no one's exempt from the emotion. What we try to teach men is to not go overboard with your emotions. I see a lot of us men, when we get into relationships and get married, sometimes we feel like there's not going to be another woman that's going to treat me a certain type of way, because if this woman is doing this, then probably the next one's going to be the same way. Yep. And listen, I talk to lawyers all the time, divorce lawyers all the time, men and women, and they say the TLA? Easiest thing to do. Huh?
Talk to TLA?
Oh, no, not TLA. I'm still kind of iffy on TLA, but I talk to these lawyers. Yeah, I talk to these lawyers, and they say, you know what? In all honesty, it really is easy to get a divorce. It's just that people don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Men don't leave their relationships. Men try to stay in these relationships. Divorces are like 70-30 across the board of women filing. And in the Black community, the ratio is even more stark.
Well, what I will say is that I think young men, and a lot of men have a struggle, is that they'll date a girl, right? And that girl won't necessarily be the perfect fit, right? Or won't respect him in a manner, but they'll stay because they feel like, I feel like men like, is that my only option if you have low self-esteem? Or they're just like, whatever, I'll just deal with it. And I think like a lot of guys don't learn from their past experiences and learn to stay away from a certain type of woman. Because I know in my own personal life, right, dated a few different types of girls. I'm like, you pick and choose what you like. But I think like a guy like Will Smith, it is kind of saddening in a way. Instead of like, okay, maybe moving on and maybe finding somebody that could vibe with him in a better way, he's just staying inside this toxic relationship where he's continually publicly humiliated, emasculated, and essentially has become a laughingstock to the whole wide world. And I think as men, it's like, it's perfectly healthy. If a relationship's not working out, obviously we can have a discussion about maybe getting prenups if you are making that level of money and kind of making sure your financials are straight, but just kind of getting out of that toxic environment and learning, or getting somebody to respect you as a person and as a man. That's the most important part. And I think Will just, I don't know, man. Like, just from what I've seen with these red tabletops and like the clips about her talking about Tupac and how she wishes Tupac was still alive because she would have been married to Tupac. Like, just the open disrespect. It's like, how much can one man take? Because I know personally, I'd be like, yo, fuck off. Like, I'm good. Like, see you later. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because Will Smith can have any woman on planet Earth, literally.
Bro, like, dog.
That dude could come in my house and smash my women, and I just would be like, damn, it is Will Smith.
Listen, like, dude, listen, like, I'm a one, right? And I, like, got women, like, getting to me, like, oh, yo, like, could you buy me a house and shit like that? I'm like, nah, see you later. I just moved on to the next one. Like, Will Smith's a 10, make a ton of money and shit.
You ain't a one, Paul. Come on, man.
Bro, listen, like, yo, let me self-roast myself. Calm down. But I'm just saying.
You're a solid 2.5, son.
I'm so beautiful. Thank you. But I think that like a dude like that, like I was able to move on. Like that dude, like making way more money, way more popularity, could get any girl in the world. Like, bro, have some self-respect. And
But he doesn't.
That's what's sad to see as a man. Like, bro, like when I have kids, because I want to have a boy, girl, whatever. Like, if I have a son, like, yo, I want to teach him, like, yo, you need to have self-respect. You know what I mean? Like, that's the most important part. Like, you got to be able to look in the mirror as a man and, you know, respect what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't think Will Smith has that.
I do want to make one. I do want to make one distinction when you're talking about Robin Williams. Robin Williams' situation was unique in that he had just gotten a terminal degenerative diagnosis. Okay. So he had a choice in whether or not he A, wanted to go through all of that, and B, have the public see him in a manner that was less than the way that they've always known him. And I think that he chose to opt out because he did not want to go through the process of losing his mental faculties and just said, well, this is the best it's ever going to get. It's time to go. So I think it's a little bit different with him than with some other people who have self-terminated.
Gotcha.
But the point that you make overall, I think that it is it stands when you're talking about Will. I think Lutch made a similar point in the comments. You know, Will's life is unraveling.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Lutch could not resist getting into another conversation. I mean, he already had me for a conversation for 2 hours on his podcast, right? But he's like, Darshawn is here.
Yeah, man, I gotta pay my respects. What's going on, Darshawn?
Yo, what's up, man?
How you
been, man? How's business?
Pretty good. I mean, you know, we growing and can't really complain.
That's good.
You know, the guy that you hooked me up with has sent me like 6 authors already.
Okay. See, I love for you guys to be successful and progressive, man. It keeps me from looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, we're not going to be climbing in your window, you know, stealing your silverware.
Oh, shit, I don't know.
Oh shit! And Jimmy Dean, absolutely EDKH all day. For those that don't know what that is, Epstein didn't kill himself.
No, exactly.
Okay. That is actually still my clan tag in Call of Duty. I still run with that clan tag EDKH. It's a daily reminder. Epstein didn't kill himself. But yeah, so you guys have some interesting takes on all of this. So I'm going to let you guys kind of drive the conversation a little bit.
Well, Darshawn, I wanted to just pick up on something that you said about you know, that this is not how men with money act, and I don't know how much that is really the case. I mean, it definitely could be.
No.
None of us know, but I think.
No, I was saying if he has okay. What I guess if I said it correctly, if he has $400 million, would you act that way if you have $400 million?
I mean, I wouldn't, but
okay.
The point is that
but we're not in his position.
I could have $400 million, and then I would not be in the position Will is. But if I was in the position Will is, and I had $400,000, I probably would still act like a bitch like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I think, you know, more not morally, but just his own identity and like who he is. You know, I was saying before that, you know, he has been in Hollywood since he was 17, and you know, he's just been Will Smith this whole time, and he's just perpetually playing a role.
Well, he's been playing a role for a long time. Listen, Will Smith is a coward. He said it himself about himself. This man grew up afraid of his father, and I want to point it back to everyone's childhood and even talk to parents. You cannot make your children fear you the way Will Smith feared his father. Okay, when his father passed away, that's when Will Smith finally came out of his shell. He wanted to be more adventurous. He started cursing more. His father had such an impact on his life. So many people say, well, yeah, just because his dad wasn't in the house, his dad was in the house enough to keep him fearful of him. And he did not grow his wings until his father had passed away. So whether you guys want to put money into the mix or parents into the mix, when you are of a certain caliber of a person, financially or non-financially, whatever the case may be, you act a certain way. You act accordingly. You don't go around hitting people, assaulting people because they said something unfriendly about your wife. That's just not how you operate.
Yeah. But again, we know that that's not his first instinct. I need to keep pointing that out. It was not his first instinct to do that, because Will Smith knows exactly what you know. But Will Smith was faced with public embarrassment or private banishment.
Yeah. Will Smith was just listening to his husband, you know?
Yep. That's
keep it real.
What do you guys think about like how like mainstream media is going to talk about this?
They're going to have a blast.
Oh well, like I think it will be. I don't know actually, because it's going to be mixed. Because some people are going to be like, "Oh, he's defending his queen," and then like other people will be like, "Well, Will Smith can't smack people." I think it's going to be mixed on the spectrum. Like Fox News is going to be like, "Is black on black crime?" Back in the like, you know, like it's just like dude, like that's it depends on the media, right? Like that's where it goes. Like I definitely see Fox News like some wild shit happening, but you know, I don't know, man. It's gonna come down to how each individual journalist.
Blind bat is the truth. Blind bat. Let me tell y'all. I've known Blind Bat for a long time. He is the motherfucking truth, yo. Will Smith took Ukraine off the front page.
Damn.
God damn.
I mean, you know.
Here's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that this is going to be, you know, like even Will Smith has toxic masculinity. And it turns into like all the rest of us are gonna have to take shit for this, because we all get lumped in together, and this is a big.
They're gonna hit us with the misogyny because she's a strong, independent woman that don't need no man. She don't need no man stepping up. Blah 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 blah.
Let our women into entanglements, right? That's completely different. Like there's no masculinity.
Yeah, but now you're talking logic. We're talking.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the feminists, they loved it when August was banging around until November. Okay, like they didn't have any problem with that, right? That's nasty business. That's just nasty business. And again, you know, I think that a lot of times, you know, I think that a lot of people are not looking at the nuts and bolts of it. They're not looking at. They're not very detail oriented. The first thing that I saw was he was sitting 10 feet away from her.
Yeah.
There is not a single married couple in the building with that much space between them. Not a single one.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
It's stuff like that makes me think that, like, not that it's the issue is not coming from money, that everything that's going on is despite, you know, where the money is. It could be up, it could be down, but
money does not make the man.
Right. I don't see this having to be. I don't see this as a money thing at all. And I could be completely wrong. I don't got money. I don't fucking know. But,
well, to be fair to you, Lutch, actually, the more I think of it, I think you're actually gonna be right about the toxic masculinity, because, for example, like I don't know if you guys heard about that recent case with Chris Brown and his stalker, the girl that kind of
everybody believed the girl until
and then, but like the thing is, the media covered it like Chris Brown was some monster and stuff like that because he has past history. But then it comes out, the truth comes out, and the media doesn't hold that same energy, right? Like there's not that same media.
There's no energy. There's nobody reported on it.
No energy towards it, right? So you can just have this negative connotation. And I'm not some big Chris Brown fan, but I'm just being fair to the guy. Turns out that lady's just fucking crazy. So actually,
I mean, he's a piece of shit, just not for what she was accusing him of.
Right. I just think that the more I think about it, you're probably right, sadly, that people are like, well, see, this is why you got to get rid of men in the household, and it's got to be a bunch of females. It's just, I don't know, man.
The future is female.
They gotta, you know, if you're not a feminist, you're a bigot. Like, it's just, I don't know.
You know, my thing is, man, and you know, I just try to be how can I say this? I wish all of you men and people who are listening, I wish that you can find a woman that will bring you peace and that really want to help you grow and to have a family if that's what you want. I'm married. I don't push marriage on people. because it may not be a good deal for a lot of different men. Because when you get into a marriage, you have to really consider the other person. You have to realize that that person has had an independent life before they met you. So they're going to carry in a lot of traits. So I really do wish all of you like the most success in life when it comes to relationships, man, because we only have a finite amount of time to live. And, you know, I hate for people to live with it with domestic disputes.
Yeah. And, you know, and this is one of the reasons why I have a lot of pride, and I'm very proud to have somebody like Deshaun McAway here, because this is a man that is not talking about concepts. This is not a concept to Darshan. He lives this shit. He's not out there talking about all the moves he's going to make. He's coming here talking about the moves he's already made. The woman he's already married, the child that he had inside of wedlock, the family that he is providing for, and his mentality as he approaches all of these things.
Yeah, well said. Well said.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. You know,
yeah, like anytime
I
I see you in the chat, I'm like, yo, that's royalty right there, as far as I'm concerned. Like, and the thing is, I did not need to listen to you talk for very long. I just heard what you said to Lutch. And of course, Lutch can plug. I did not read your book podcast, where there's an episode where, you know, Lutch is talking about Darshan's children's books. Darshan found a hole in the market. He didn't whine about racism. He found a hole in the market. He ran up the gut like fucking Emmett Smith, right?
Yeah.
So this is a man that he's a type that he's not going to talk about it until he's already been about it.
Yeah, that's right? Real. That's real.
When you look at Captain Paul here, Captain Paul is on the boat 2 or 3 weeks out of the month, earning money for his woman to make sure she is taken care of. Right? When there's no family to support them, he takes on the extra load. Pause.
Heavy pause.
All right, like you know, this is the kind of environment, this is the kind of community that we want to build here on the Talking Shit podcast, because we're hoping that one of you guys will end up being worth $400 million, and then when you go to the Academy Awards, you don't let some masculine chick put a battery in your back.
No.
Yeah.
Preach.
No,
Yeah.
I just think when it comes down to it, man, like the main thing is just teaching young men the importance of
Savage.
Yeah. All right. Well, no comment. But yeah, I think the important thing is though, is like us as men, you know, especially as a guy like Sean, who's, you know, in a successful marriage, raising kids, guys like you, us, different paths of life that show these kids and these young men, like in their late teenage years, like, hey, like this is how you can move in life and be successful. You know what I mean? I do agree with you, Darshan. Like, not marriage life isn't for everyone because it comes down to taking that other person into account. And some people just inherently
too fucking selfish.
Yeah, they just can't do that. But you know, teaching young men how to be successful in marriage, how to successfully raise some kids. You know, I just think that's absolutely dope that, you know, we have so many positive male role models in this community that can really, like, young men can look up to.
Yeah, and it's so funny that you mentioned that, because when we first started this, we were a little bit more on the crimson side of the red pill. But one of the things that woke me up is that men are painted, especially black men, are painted with a broad brush in society. And we know that not to be true. The vast majority of black people, both black men and black women, are upstanding citizens, but they're not the people that get the light shown on them. I mean, if Lutch did not have Darshan on his podcast, I would not know that Darshan exists. He would just be some faceless guy living in a gated community somewhere, and nobody would be able to look at him and say, hey, here's an example of how to navigate through life. Look, we've actually got real life examples. This is not a concept. This is real life. But you know what everybody did see? Will Smith laugh first. And then look at Jada, and then walked up with the stage real slow, and then do the world's most feminine slap because of what a comedian said. Everybody's gonna see that. There's people getting bombed in Ukraine. Like, damn, Will's a bitch.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's all facts right there, man. That's what the world sees. They don't see the positive. They want to see all the negative. And I get it, all that type of stuff, it sells. But someone like me, I get overlooked, and I'm okay with it because my life is fine. I'm successful for myself and for my family. And I don't. But when I first saw that with Will, man, the first thing I thought about, I say, damn, I usually don't call nobody this, but I say he is a simp.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was like, damn it, he's a simp. Because I was fighting him, man. I was like, nah, that's Will, and Data just, she's trying on me. He gonna bounce back, and then next thing I know, I seen it and I replayed it, and I was like, damn, Will Smith is a simp. I say, golly, man.
Man, that's for a reason why Cuck was trending on Twitter. Like Will Smith.
I had to think about it too, and I made the title of this show, and I was just like, well, I don't want to run afoul and get canceled.
Like you can't call it the great
YouTube. So I had to put the little number sign in there, the little pound sign. I mean, pound is appropriate because pound.
I think it would have been fine if we just called it the Great Cuckening of Will Smith.
I think that's an appropriate name.
Oh my God! And again, I have to give my flowers to Chris Rock. I have to, because Chris Rock handled that so ridiculously well.
Yeah,
and you can tell the manhood was welling up in him, and because Will Smith basically dared him.
Yeah.
He slapped him with a feminine hand and then sat there talking shit in the front row. There was going to be nobody between him and Chris if Chris wanted to go whoop his ass.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't be allowed that self-control. I wouldn't have. I would have literally, I would have at least said a joke. I was hoping Chris Rock said this joke, but he's a better person than me. But oh shit. Man, I haven't hit that hard since August. Goddamn, something in there that would have been funny. But
I wish Chris would have at least said something back, and maybe flinched at him. Because I was like, damn, I get it. He trying to be professional, and but it happened so fast to Chris. It happened fast to Chris because he didn't know what Will Smith was coming to do. But I wish he would at least just did something. But what's funny, or maybe even ironic. And I'm gonna get up out of here. The thing I was telling people was, what? Jada might be in G.I. Jane 2.
Nah, she ruined that bag. That was one of the first things I said. She ruined that bag.
I don't know. That might be the best marketing you could.
That might be. Yeah.
But the look on her face. If she would have laughed, everybody's going out to see that movie. Everybody. But one thing I will say, Darshan. And I do have a minor disagreement, at least a partial disagreement.
Okay. Is
that I'm happy that Chris Rock didn't do anything because I think that he saved the black public image by doing nothing. It was it was something bigger than him.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Chris Rock possesses the ability to make Will Smith look even more like a bitch than he already looks.
Absolutely.
Right. I agree. I got you.
And he didn't do that, and I think it's because he knew what he was capable of.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And I really thank you, man. If you want to plug your stuff, let people know what you got going on before you get up out of here.
Absolutely. Hey guys, my name is Darshan McWay. I am the host of wildpodcast.me. Go check us out. We talk to New York Times and USA Today best-selling authors across the entire world. Check me out. We have some phenomenal people on there. Also, please go check out my company, babyauthors.com. We're in all Walmart stores, Target, Barnes & Nobles. We're everywhere. And if you don't see the book, that's mean we're sold out. So just tell them, hey, I need to get this book because Darshan told me to. Hey, guys, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
And hit me with those links, man. Hit me with those links, man. We really appreciate you being here.
For sure. I'll put them in the chat.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Right.
My guy Simplistics has an interesting question. How do you feel about all of the women saying that he was right? He should have defended his queen. We're going to let Lutch take that one first.
Of course they're saying that. What do you mean? They obviously want the idealized version of what happened, where the offense that Chris Rock did was worthy of their honor needing to be defended, and having that guy stand up in front of all these people, and it's Chris Rock. That's what, of course, they're gonna spin it into like, oh, he's so dreamy that he did this and so chivalrous and whatever. But like, nah, nope. No.
What say you, Paul?
Listen, I don't even know what's a woman anymore. So.
Oh shit!
So like,
neither does a new Supreme Court justice. So you're in good company.
So like, my thing is this: is that
the barbs keep on coming. Oh my god!
Like, I'm in final form today. I'll just say this, man, is that these women are all about Will Smith defending that honor. Are the same type of women that will like piss in a dude's shampoo bottle because he's upset with him. You know what I mean? Like, these women don't have altruistic reasons to like be supportive of this, right? They're not like, oh my God, he's so brave. Like, yo, fuck you. Like, honestly, like, this is just, it's disgusting behavior. Women are not about equality in this circumstance if they're saying this, because if anything, I think Jada, like, she has the man card in that relationship. She should have gone up there and smacked Chris Rock. You know what? I'll be fair. Jada probably would have had better form. It's just like, to me, like, these women love essentially putting men in these positions to lose all their wealth, right?
Yep.
These women want to put men in situations where they can essentially harm themselves. Because you know what? Will Smith wouldn't have done that to Dwayne Johnson. Will Smith wouldn't have done that to like an MMA fighter, because like Will Smith knew Chris Rock was probably going to handle that in a certain way. Now, imagine, I think Chris Rock would have rocked his shit if it was like behind closed doors.
But Will Smith didn't know that at the time.
But like, to be fair, Will Smith probably wishes Chris Rock would rock his doors. You know what I mean?
So yeah, like, it would at least make something of it.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't respect like women saying like they're all about this shit and respecting like, oh, like, he's white knighting, he's protecting this woman. Like, no, he's not. Like, if you're at a Oscars or any type of ceremony and a comedian's rocking as a host, what? Like, bro, like, are we just gonna get physical with anything we disagree with now? Like, you can't say any joke now. You got to make sure it's like, a safe space.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
That's the other thing too. It's not about, they don't have these morals and values that it's like they look at the situation afterwards and they take a position based on what they feel. Yeah. And like, if you actually question these women who are supporting Will and actually like follow that logic, I guarantee you a very small percentage of them would actually like, agree that is a good way to think about things in general. It's just this particular thing. Maybe they don't like Jada. Maybe they like Will, whatever it is. That's more of what you're going to see than anything else. And Jimmy Dean, you're not wrong that men and women will do that. But specifically women, when it comes to interactions between men and women, they just take the convenient position.
Well, my position on this is that Will Smith knew he was wrong because that was not his first instinct. His first instinct was to laugh like everybody else in the building, because we know that there is a comedian on stage. And when there's a comedian on stage, anybody, they're equal up. They're supposed to be in a protected class and a protected group of people that are allowed to say the things that everybody else in society is not allowed to say. They're supposed to be like the last beacons of absolute freedom of speech. And we've seen over the last few years the attacks on comedians, and it's just wrong. And this is just another example of that. I do not believe the second question. Well, the second statement that Simplistic said, he should have defended his queen. He did not defend the queen.
Right.
He was acting on orders from his queen.
That's
No,
it.
From his king. From his
No,
king.
he's
Yeah.
Thank you, please.
And,
Like,
and that's an important thing to point out. Not just that he laughed first, but that the reason that he went up there and slapped another man on live TV is not because he was offended at his wife's honor. That is not what happened.
Nope.
He got up there because he felt embarrassed in front of his wife, and he again like
He was on. There were marching orders.
Well, like,
Those were marching orders.
Dr. Evil Genius, I think you were saying that he had to choose between the public
Humiliation.
embarrassment of just a joke on his wife, or the private repercussions from Jada. And it's very clear based on his decision which one of those was going to be worse.
well, listen, like Will Smith.
What he thought was going to be worse.
Will Smith has,
Well, dude, that's the point, though. You don't know that this could be the preferable situation.
well, Will Smith has two instincts, right? And fighting is not one of them. One is to laugh. Two is to cry like a bitch. Like
Cutting off
that's
your hair
all
is
Will
not an
Smith
immutable
does.
characteristic.
Like honestly, Will Smith isn't that guy. He doesn't want that smoke, right? He's never wanted that smoke. He publicly cries like a bitch about his relationships, and he laughs. That's all I know. Will Smith, like, have you guys heard of Will Smith being like, for example, it's not like who's the fucking that Hammer Time, that guy who did the fucking
MC Hammer.
Thank you, MC Hammer, slipping my fucking tongue. Like he was known, like he do those songs, but he was known to rock a motherfucker. Like you disrespect him. Will Smith wasn't that guy. Like Will Smith's never been that guy. So like having that type of energy that you aren't in, and like your king looks at you and is like, you better act right, and you go up there and embarrass yourself. Like, come on, man.
I think it's a little weird that you couldn't remember the guy's name, but then you'd say his name.
I know. I know.
Anybody got the number for 911? Jimmy Dean says, does the comedian defense extend to immutable characteristics, though? Would you defend insensitive racial jokes on the basis of it's just a joke, bro? From a professional comedian, absolutely.
Yeah, like not some asshole like at a bar, right? Like, you want to hear a funny joke? Like when you're just drinking a couple beers. But like if you're going to a set and you're going to a comedic experience, generally comedians, they have like a type of humor they go, whether you like it or not. So you kind of understand what it's going to be going into the show.
Or you understand that you don't understand what it's going to be.
Or you understand you don't understand. Like you got to like just be expecting. Like, listen, I'm not expecting a Kramer outburst. Like, something ridiculous.
Yeah, Kramer stopped joking. When he was on stage, it was very clear that he was no longer doing a bit.
I love Dave Chappelle's like, I was so angry, but then I understood. I was like, man, this man's just like, he's having a bad set.
And I do got to take this little monster out. Before I go, I do want to address this as well. I do think that's kind of a moot point in this context, because cutting off your hair is not an immutable characteristic. He didn't say anything about her that was mutable. She had, she was
wearing wigs the whole fucking time anyway. She just decided to stop wearing wigs.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's the thing. It's like if she had just been diagnosed with whatever, and she was just now going through chemo, and like she had hair, and then she lost her hair, and then to make a joke, even still, you're still gonna and so I mean, I think that is the rational next thing, Jimmy Dean, to say. So the joke has to be funny then, and
it doesn't have to.
I think that there is
to not warrant a violent reaction.
No.
That's what I'm. But I think that's what, for me, all jokes are on the table with a professional comedian. It is up to you to decide whether you think it is funny or not, and you are going to vote with your dollars. End of story. If you don't like that comedian's brand of comedy, don't watch.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's how you affect it. If you don't watch their streams, don't watch their content, don't go to their shows, that's how you affect them. If you don't like the comedian, do it in that aspect, but don't.
Hannah Gadsby stood up on the fucking stage crying about some bullshit that happened in college, right? Nobody went up and slapped her. I mean, that would have been wrong, but nobody, like people just said, do you know what the response was? Hannah Gadsby is not funny. That was it.
Yeah, she
To this day, nobody is calling for her to be canceled because of all the anti-male rhetoric. People just say Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
Well, to be fair,
and that's it.
I would have understood Hannah Gatsby getting slapped over Chris Rock. I'm just saying, like, I'm not justifying the violence, but it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah,
like,
definitely. That's
like,
a great point for me to jump out on.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
again,
thank
guys.
you for rejoining the stream.
I had to jump back in. I was like, oh shit. If you want to check my shit, scroll back. I plugged all my shit earlier. I don't want to take up any more y'all guys' time. Thank you so much.
All right, Jersey Devil.
See you next time.
See ya. Peace. Yeah, so it was nice to get some takes. We got some takes in the comments, and I think we had some sensible people on the show today. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we had some great people on the show. People with good takes, get a little bit of different perspective, and I think good male role models also, in my opinion, which I think is important in this situation. So yeah, we had a good show today.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as and I think that again, the fourth wall has officially been broken for me. I cannot buy him as the savior of the world. I cannot buy him as a superhero. I cannot buy him as Muhammad Ali, because Muhammad Ali would not have reacted that way. He is no longer viable as a believable character in anything except if he plays a beta simp cuck. That's the only movie I would watch with him in it, because at that point it would be believable.
Yeah.
I mean, the femininity of that slap will haunt me forever.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Oh my God. But I want to thank everybody that has spent a part of their Monday afternoon talking about this bullshit. And making some actual good points, because it is a cautionary tale. With all bullshit in the world, there are a lot of lessons to learn, guys. And I'm just going to kind of put this in a nice little neat bow for y'all, guys. If you are the second, if you're anything other than the first option, press the fucking eject button. Bye.
See ya.
You don't need that kind of energy in your life, because you are going to be chasing that woman's affection for the rest of your fucking life. And women don't want to be with men that they have the leverage over. They always claim they do want that, but their actions show otherwise. They want the guy that they want. They know within 5 minutes of talking to you whether or not they respect you today and will respect you always. They know when they meet you. And if they're constantly talking about this other guy that got away, then you push them away.
Absolutely.
If your first instinct is to laugh at a joke, keep laughing, nigga. Keep laughing.
Yeah.
Because I would have respected Will if his first instinct was to dart on the stage. He would have gotten more respect. If he was sitting next to his wife, like all the other married couples in the room, he would have gotten more respect. But he didn't do any of those things. They were sitting 10 feet away from each other. He laughs first. He then looks at her. She can't take a joke because she's a salty whatever. A salty jelly bean. Mm-hmm. She's the popcorn flavored Jelly Belly. Nobody likes that.
No.
Okay? Will just took a massive L.
Yeah.
And he bestowed a massive win on Chris Rock, who then conferred it upon most black people. Chris Rock might have saved the black community last night. So thank you for that, Mr. Rock. Thank you for being sensible. Thank you for holding your composure. Thank you for remaining professional. That's from the heart. Anything else you got to say on the subject before we head on?
I think you wrapped a beautiful bow on it. I'll just say one more time, men, just have more self-respect for yourself. Like Evil said, if you aren't the first option, you're the last. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Well, we talked our shit, and I guess you guys could talk your shit in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you on episode 38.